In today's video, I'm going to show you how to get out of your own way and achieve the things that you want. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm Coach Simona. I upload weekly videos on how to simplify your life and have great relationships with others. So, if you want to stick around and never miss a new video, hit the big subscribe button below and the bell next to it to get notified every time I upload a new video. Now, let's jump right to this video. Alright guys, let's talk about how to get out of your own way. We've all heard the saying, I am my own worst enemy. But there are things that you do on a daily basis that are preventing you from achieving the success that you want. And today, I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you get out of your own way and achieve the things that you want. My first tip is to change your behavior. As a cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner, I often talk about behavioral patterns on this channel. What I advise most of my clients to do is take a closer look at their habits and understand which habits are actually preventing them from achieving their goals. A habit consists of 3 things: a cue, or a trigger for an automatic behavior to start, a routine, the behavior itself, and a reward. That's how our brain learns to remember this pattern for the future. Let's say you want to write a book. Every morning, you start the day with the intention to write, but somewhere along the way, you distract yourself and start binge-watching TV shows or chatting with your friends. Why? Because you've trained your brain to do all these things. Every time you don't write, you reward yourself with fun stuff. Here's what I've learned from the UK's #1 therapist, Marisa Peer, on how to work with your brain instead of against it. Your mind loves what's familiar. It will always try to fall back on what's familiar. So if you want to change your habits, you need to make the familiar unfamiliar and the unfamiliar familiar. If you identify self-sabotaging behaviors or addictions, they're the first ones that you need to become aware of. How? By observing and acknowledging your behavior. Take notes of what you're spending your time on every single day. Once you become familiar with your habits, explore other, healthier options. If writing every day seems unfamiliar to you, try writing 10 words a day. That's it, but you have to stick with it every single day. What you will notice in a week or so is that writing won't seem that unfamiliar to you, and you will have 70 words more than the week before. And if you want to watch less TV or go out with your friends less, make these things a little bit unfamiliar. Go out with friends only after work hours. Or watch TV shows only on the weekends. Make the familiar unfamiliar, and you will break the cycle of distracting yourself instead of writing. My next tip is to do one thing at a time. Who doesn't love multitasking, right? Well, I don't anymore. Once I realized how much energy it cost me to do several things at once, instead of doing one thing in the best possible way, I simply couldn't go back to multitasking. If you're a multitasker, here's what you can try. Start with something small, because we don't want to put your brain into panic mode.
Oh my God!
For example, if you're a social media strategist, here's how to stop multitasking. Let's say you feel overwhelmed because you're posting on different social media apps, you're getting calls from clients, and you're chatting with your colleagues. Try to focus on one little task at a time. For example, I will not do anything else until I finish this email. To develop a single task mindset, I advise you to prioritize what you're doing and put it on paper to give your brain a chance to process everything better. Let's take a look at one of my favorite tools, the Eisenhower Matrix. As you can see on this picture, Eisenhower's strategy is all about taking action based on 4 possibilities. Urgent and important. Tasks you will do immediately. Important but not urgent. Tasks you will schedule to do later. Urgent but not important. Tasks you will delegate to someone else. And neither urgent nor important. Tasks that you will eliminate. But what is the difference between urgent and important? Urgent tasks are things that you feel like you need to react to immediately. answering a phone call or an email, getting into a meeting with your boss, etc. And the important tasks are the ones that contribute to your long-term mission, values, and goals. When using this method, stay always true to your core values. I've made a whole episode on the Simplify Your Life podcast, so you can click here after the video, or you can check the link in the description box. So, what's the last tip on how to get out of your own way? Start with the end goal in mind. If you're going through self-sabotaging behavior, it's a sign that you have forgotten your why, the reason behind all the work that you're doing. But that's okay. I have several suggestions on how to keep your eyes on the prize, also known as your end goal. The first thing that you need to do is develop a clear vision for yourself. I've already talked about how to create a vision board, so I won't go into many details right now. Basically, you find pictures that you associate with your end goal. Let's say you want to become a world-class hip-hop dancer. Think of the ideal scenario for you. Where do you live? Have you joined a crew or have you created one yourself? Who are you with? Do you go on tours? Do you dance for famous singers like Beyoncé? Get creative and let your imagination run wild. Once you're ready with your vision board, I want you to look at it every single day. It is going to be that little hack that will put your focus back on track. My next suggestion is to imagine the worst-case scenario. We often don't take action because we're too afraid of the consequences, and we get stuck in our own minds instead of taking action. So grab a piece of paper and write down the worst-case scenario. What's going to happen? How are you going to feel? How are the important people in your life going to react? Write down all of it. Pause this video and come back when you're done. By writing down all of your fears, you will not only become aware of them, but you will realize that what you think is going to happen is really not that bad. What is going to be bad, though, is what's going to happen if you don't even try. You're going to be wondering for the rest of your life what it could have been. And I don't want you to fall into that trap. And my last suggestion on how to keep the end goal in mind is to write down one thing that you're going to do right now to get you closer to your goal. We all have big goals and dreams, whether we realize it or not. But every day we make a series of choices that will either get us closer to our goals or even further away. So choose wisely. Alright guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!
All